Hi friends, today teacher Kim is going to read Elizabeti's Doll by Stephanie Stouff Borden, illustrated by Christy Hell. 小朋友，杨老师今天要念 Elizabeti 的洋娃娃，作者是 Stephanie Stouff Borden， 画家是 Christy Hell。Elizabeti had a new baby brother named Obedi. Elizabeti watched Mama take care of him and she wanted to care for her own baby. Elizabeti 有了一个新的弟弟叫 Obedi. Elizabeti 看着妈妈照顾他，她想照顾自己的孩子。She didn't have a doll, so she went outside and picked up a stick. She tried to hug it, but it poked her and she dropped it on the ground. 她没有洋娃娃，所以她到外面去拿了一根树枝。她试图拥抱它，但她戳到了它，她便把它掉在地上。Then Elizabeti picked up a rock. It was just the right size to hold, and it didn't poke Elizabeti when she hugged it. She kissed the rock and named it Eva. 然后 Elizabeti 捡起一块石头，这块石头大小正合适，而且当她拥抱它时，她没有戳它，她亲吻了石头，并将它命名为 Eva。When baby Obedi had a bath, he splashed and got Mama wet. 婴儿 Obedi 洗澡时，他溅起了水，弄湿了妈妈。When Eva had a bath, she behaved very nicely and only splashed a little. 当 Eva 洗澡时，她的举止非常好，只溅了一点水。Mama fed Obedi and he gave a loud burp. Brr! Elizabeti fed Eva, but she was too polite to burp. 妈妈喂了 Obedi 后，她大声地打了一个饱嗝。Elizabeti 喂了 Eva 后，她很斯文的没有打嗝。Mama changed the cloth wrapped around Obedi's bottom and it was very messy. Elizabeti was very relieved to find that Eva's bottom was still clean. 妈妈在换包裹在 Obedi 屁屁上的尿布时，那块布好脏哟。Elizabeti 欣慰地发现 Eva 的屁屁仍然干净。When Mama did her chores, she tied Obedi on to her back with a bright cloth called a kanga. 妈妈在做家务时，用一块明亮的被称为坎卡的布将 Obedi 绑在背上。When Elizabeti did her chores, she also tied Eva onto her back with a kanga. Mama had to help a little. 当 Elizabeti 做家务时，她也用坎卡布将 Eva 绑在背上，绑的时候妈妈得帮她一把。Elizabeti went to visit her friend Rahiley. Rahiley laughed when she saw that Elizabeti had a rock for a doll. Elizabeti 去看望她的朋友拉海利。Rahiley 看到 Elizabeti 把一块石头当成洋娃娃时笑了起来。But Rahiley didn't have a doll either. So when Elizabeti left, Rahiley found her own rock and named it Malusi. 但是 Rahiley 也没有洋娃娃，所以当 Elizabeti 离开时 ，Rahiley 找到了自己的石头洋娃娃，并命名为马露西。When Elizabeti got home, it was time for her to get water from the village well. She took Eva out of the kanga and laid her on the ground near some other rocks, so she wouldn't be lonely. Elizabeti 回家后，正是从村子里水井打水的时候，她将 Eva 从 kanga 中取出来，并把它放在其他岩石附近的地面上，这样她就不会孤单。Then Elizabeti wrapped the kanga into a small bundle, put it on top of her head, and placed the water jug on top of the kanga. This was how she always carried water and other heavy things. 然后 Elizabeti 将坎卡布盘成一团，放在头顶上，并将水壶放在坎卡布上，这就是她携带水和其他重物的方式。Elizabeti soon returned with the water and took it to her sister Pendle, inside the cooking hut where all the family's meals were made. Elizabeth 很快带着水回到了家里，并把它交给姐姐 Pendle。Pendle 在烹饪小屋里，那里是做一家人饭菜的地方。Then Elizabeth ran outside to get Eva, but Eva was gone. Elizabeth looked all around, but she couldn't find Eva. 然后 Elizabeth 跑到外面去找 Eva， 但是 Eva 不见了。Elizabeth 四处寻找，但找不到 Eva。Mama found a new rock and gave it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth shook her head when she saw it. The rock was just a rock. 妈妈找到了一块新石头，把它给 Elizabeth。Elizabeth 看到石头，摇了摇头，那块石头只是一块石头。Pendle also brought Elizabeth a rock.But it wasn't Eva either. Pendle 也给 Elizabeth 找来一块石头，但它也不是 Eva. Elizabeth was very sad and sat quietly until it was time to help Pendle in the cooking hut. Elizabeth 感到非常难过，她静静地坐着，直到需要帮忙 Pendle 煮饭的时候。The family had rice for dinner every night, and it was Elizabeth's job to put the pot of rice on the fire pit, which was made of 3 large stones. 一家人每晚都吃米饭。Elizabeth 的工作是将一锅米饭放到火炕上煮，火炕是用3块大石头做成的。Elizabeth sadly filled the pot with water and set it on the stones to boil. But one of the stones wasn't a stone at all. It was Eva. Elizabeth 伤心地往锅里倒满水，然后把它放在石头上烧开。但是其中一块石头根本不是石头，是 Eva. Elizabeth called for Mama, and together they moved the pot of water and rolled Eva away from the fire. Although Eva was a bit dirty, she hadn't been hurt. Elizabeth 把妈妈叫来，他们一起移动了那锅水，把 Eva 从火堆里挪出来。尽管 Eva 有点脏，但她没有受伤。Pendle ran outside to get a new stone for the fire pit, which is just how poor Eva had become lost. Eva sat quietly while Elizabeth cleaned her off and hugged her. Pendle 跑到外面去，为火炕找了一块新石头，这正是可怜的 Eva 不见的原因。Eva 安静地坐着，让 Elizabeth 清洗她，并拥抱她。At bedtime, Mama sang a lullaby and rocked Obidi in her arms until he fell asleep. What shall we do with the baby, oh? What shall we do with the baby, oh? When he won't go sleepy, oh? Wrap him up with a calico, wrap him up with a calico, put him up the roof, oh. Elizabeth sang a lullaby too, but she fell asleep before Eva did. What shall we do with the baby, oh? What shall we do with the baby, oh? If he won't go sleepy, oh. 上床睡觉时，妈妈一边唱着摇篮曲，一边摇着 Obidi， 直到她入睡。摇啊摇啊摇啊摇，船儿摇到外婆桥。外婆说我好宝宝，给我糖一包，果一包。Elizabeth 也唱了摇篮曲，但她在 Eva 睡着之前就睡着了。摇啊摇啊摇啊摇，船儿摇到外婆桥。Mama covered Elizabeth and Eva with a blanket. She smiled and thought that One day, Elizabeti would make a fine mother. Eva thought so too. 妈妈用毯子将 Elizabeti 和 Eva 盖好，她笑了笑，认为 Elizabeti 有一天会成为一个好母亲。Eva 也这么认为。The end. 结束。